know. I don't know.
Just go live.
We are.
We're live right now. Oh my God. My God. Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
You guys don't understand.
You don't even understand what happened. Oh my God. For 15 minutes.
Oh my God.
Why would that happen? Why would that even happen?
He thinks that maybe there was like a Windows update. It's always Windows. I don't know.
Why?
I don't know. And now, you guys, I don't have any of my videos ready because I've been switching back and forth between computers. And so things are a mess right now. Things are a big fat mess. I'm just
all right. So you go ahead and you load the videos. I'll give them the backstory. Okay. So Mock changed to a whole other computer this weekend. Okay. She got herself a Mac. She's all fancy schmancy. Look how beautiful and like clear she is right now. There's not going to be any of this. Yeah, there's not going to be any of this bull crap. You know, she's always done this crap, right? She's like, look, I'm blurry. Okay.
Yeah, I won't have to do that again.
God, I'm so sniffly again today. I'm so sick of Seder fever, y'all. So so I get on and thinking, oh, this is going to be great. Look how clear she is. She looks so great. Look at this. It's so great. I can't hear her. Okay. And I'm like, okay, well, surely it's a setting. It's not a big deal. It's just a setting. We're going to get through it. We have
be fine.
We have like 12 minutes. It's fine. We have 12 minutes. We have so much time. That's like an eternity in pre-show time. It's fine. We'll be able to go through all the videos. It's going to be great. No. That 12 minutes, we ran the clock quick, you guys. I mean, we ran it. So that was quick. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, it's like showtime. I can't hear you. We're typing to each other. We're trying to figure it out. She goes to a different computer. She goes to her phone.
I went back to my old computer, you guys, and I took the mic. Then I tried a whole different mic. Still nothing. No. And the whole time
it was me. Her. Hi.
She's the problem. It's her.
All it was a reboot. That's all it was.
I mean, the agony that we have been going through over the last 15 minutes.
And I've been typing y'all going, we're almost there. It's kind of like, you know, when you're meeting a friend for dinner and you're late and you're like, listen, I'm in the parking lot. I'm right there. You are still in your bathroom putting makeup on. That was me typing to you guys. That's what I was doing. Oh my
gosh. That was so, I am sweating, you guys. Like absolutely drenched in sweat.
She's got the pit stains right now.
Totally pitted out. Eugene Heger, I'm not sure how you pronounce your name. Thank you very much. He says, change your name to Mac Daddy Mock. I would, but I already have a name for today, which is Mockopause, because you guys, the hot flashes this weekend.
Oh my God, me too. Last night.
What is going on?
I don't know. I'm feeling, listen, mine started to kind of go away a little bit because I went through menopause like 14 years ago.
Is this ever going to end?
Ever? No. It lasts. I had a doctor told me once, listen, it'll last like 7 to 10 years. And I wanted to punch her directly in the face. Yeah. Yeah. And it'll last like 10 years. It'll last like 10 years. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, the moral of the story of what we just told you is that 1, menopause sucks. 2, always reboot. Always reboot, you guys. Like that's the first thing.
If we would have like had an IT department, we would have called and they would have been like, have you tried turning your computer on and off again? And we would have been like, no, you jerk. That's not going to do anything.
Jackass.
And that's exactly what
half hour later. Yeah. Anyway,
apologies for being late.
I like Muffy's comment. She's like burning woman. Yes, we're the burning women is what we are.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to see like massive headlines about Burning Man, which I have never paid a lick of attention to, but apparently it was a big rain out and like super muddy and gross.
Everybody got violent. It's like all these hippies got violent with I'm not laughing. I'm not. It's not funny at all. But they're supposed to be all like peace and love and happiness, and they all like lost their crap. They lost their crap when it starts raining and getting muddy and everybody, because, you know, it's like become a thing where all the celebrities go to, you know, it's become kind of hip and cool. And everybody goes there and they dress up in their like fuzzy boots and they take pictures in their bikinis and fuzzy boots, you know, it's like a thing. And then when it becomes uncomfortable, you know, it's like people get pissy. They get pissy.
Yeah,
They don't like it
well,
when the
it's
weather
not
gets bad.
common for it to be a rain out in the
Nope.
desert, but that was an actual thing. Before I meant to do this like from the very outset because like people were so mad at me on Twitter on Friday. So remember how on Friday we started the show, I think, by saying, because it was a humongous headline on top of the Daily Mail, that there was this big super PAC of Ron DeSantis's that was leaving him in the dust and going to move to Trump. And it was like this big deal and, you know, top story on Daily Mail. And so I was like, wow, that's a big deal. And I thought the people that are super Trumpy in our audience will appreciate the fact that I am reporting bad news about DeSantis, right? So I wanted to make sure to tell that story. And then as soon as the show was over, I mean, not as soon as, but like a couple hours later, I happened to go onto Twitter and I saw that was fake news. That PAC that they were referring to has like $30 to its name and nobody's ever heard of it. And it like doesn't matter whatsoever. And so it was a complete non-story, but Trump had retruthed it and was making a big fuss about it. It was the top of Daily Mail. And I did not like do super duper checking on the story before we talked about it on this show. And so that I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew that was a fake story because somebody was super mad. There were actually a couple people on Twitter saying, it's egregious that Mock reported that story without checking Twitter first. And I'm like, I'm sorry that during the live stream, I'm also not on 17 other platforms checking everything at the same time. So yeah, mistakes do happen. That was a mistake. I'm very glad about it. I'm glad it's a big mistake, but wanted to make sure to say that right out of the gate. So
God, you're horrible.
I know.
You're also horrible for not knowing to reboot this morning.
I'm just awful in every way.
God, you hag.
I just am
can't believe you didn't know that.
Right.
Seriously. It's totally not my fault at all. It's not.
Oh my God. That I was gonna kill you. I will never ever live that down, you guys, ever. It's good, like until we die as friends. We're gonna be so old. We'll be sitting on lawn chairs one time in front of like a pool. I swear, I'll be bald. She'll be like She'll be shrunk down to her original birth size, and she'll be like, "Remember that time you forgot to reboot?" And you were like so mad because I got a new computer and it was going to be all my fault.
I blamed it on your new computer. And I'll be like, shut up.
It wasn't my fault, you guys. It was not my fault.
So like, this is what we'll do. Right.
Reminder, everybody, if you have not yet gotten your free Jumpstart trial bag of rough greens, why would you not do that? All you have to do is pay for shipping. That's it. Right? And then you get to try what's so funny?
Nothing. You're just cracking me up this morning.
So here, you know what? I'm going to do things a little different and I'm going to show you all the benefits right on the screen. Look at all of these benefits.
Oh my God. I love all that. Yes. Improved breath is like the biggest one.
A lot of dog owners,
I just get knocked over from some of the bad breath of my dogs. Yeah.
But it's true that once you start your dogs on Rough Greens green powder, you're going to see changes in your dog. You're going to see improvements in their skin and coat. You're going to see improvements in their digestion. You're going to see improvements in their energy levels. For sure. That's true. They experience better mobility and joint health, healthy immune functions. And the best part is the improved breath and less just dog stinkiness.
Yes.
But the good news is that I've not noticed a change in their like that yummy, sweaty smell that happens when they've been sleeping a long time and it's like hot.
They smell like Fritos. They smell like a big bag of Fritos.
I love that. I mean, maybe that's a little different now. It's like not quite as pungent, but I love that smell. And so
less Frito-y. More Tostito-y. Yeah.
A little more Tostito-y. Yeah. A little more popcorny, if you will.
More. Yes. Yes.
Like movie butter popcorn.
Yes.
So anyway, you guys should try your free bag. All you do is pay shipping. You can check it out at Rough Chicks, RUFF chicks.com. Get yourself your free bag and start making your dog super, super healthy. Who doesn't want that?
Oh no, there's one right there, right in the background. He's laying down right there.
See, you guys have to keep your dog super healthy. Okay, I'm so discombobulated that I don't even know what video I wanted to show you for. Oh, wait, let me get to other headlines first before we get to even videos. And so we should obviously mention Jill Biden, Dr. Jill Biden. She's got herself a case of the Rona.
Oh, really? God. Well,
Which
I
is
mean,
so weird because I'm pretty sure she's been like double, triple
octuple boosted. Is that a thing? Octuple boosted? Yeah. I mean, she's had all the boosters. She's
had
boosted
everything.
up. Yeah.
She's probably had boosted like boosts that nobody else can even have yet.
Yeah. She's like she's got super duper boosted. She's boostastic, you guys. It's too bad. I don't understand it. How do these people get COVID if they've been boosted so many times? It makes you go,
I know. It's so
weird. It's weird.
So anyway, she's going to be recovering, I'm sure, at the beach. I mean, I would.
At Rehoboth.
So
in Rehoboth.
How do you say that?
I think that's how I say it. Rehoboth.
Okay. I'm down to say it however you want to say it. Jimmy Buffett, sadly, has passed away in his 70s. I think he was suffering from cancer of some sort. Was it skin cancer? I think it might have been skin cancer.
I don't know what kind of cancer, but I was sad about that one. I saw like a gajillion Jimmy Buffett concerts. A gajillion.
Happy performer, you know?
Right. I did the whole fist to the left, fist to the right. I did all that. You did like the bras and the, you know what I mean? I did the concert. He was skin cancer. People are saying skin cancer.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Super fun musician. It's like, the cheeseburger in paradise. Yeah. He was an American treasure.
Really a treasure.
Yeah.
In other notable celebrity deaths, I guess, Bill Richardson, former New Mexican governor who ran for president, remember back in the day? He has died at 75. And so too has the lead singer of Smash Mouth, who died in hospice as a result of liver failure because of his alcoholism.
Oh my God.
And he was like 52, 54.
I was going to ask you how old he was.
Yeah,
it's so interesting you say that because that is like one of my best friend from middle school and we talk every once in a while. We talked over the weekend and we were talking about how common dying from alcoholism is. People just don't talk about that enough.
Really?
Yeah, we were talking about people from high school, people that your husband would know, because I went to high school with Mock's husband, you guys. I went to elementary school with Mock's husband, you guys. If you've never heard that story, you should check out the deep dive, because we talk, it's crazy, like the weird serendipitous way that she and I met.
What's the number?
Is it like 22 or 23?
Old episode.
Is it? Yeah, it's such a good one. Oh my God. Like we were, it's divine the way we got together. But anywho, but we were talking, my friend Jenny and I were talking about how like that it's just, there's some people from our high school that have died from fentanyl poisoning. I didn't know about that. Like she still lives in the area that we live in, like in Atlanta. And she was telling me about that yesterday. And I was like, get out. And then
you guys went to school with?
Yes. I'll have to fill him in. It's just crazy. Like I didn't even know that. And then we're talking about alcohol, but so many people that we know have died from alcohol. And I'm just like, that it's a common thing. And then like 50s, like the Smash Mouth 50s.
Wow.
It's senseless. You know what I mean? Senseless.
Yeah.
So it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it happens more often than you guys even realize, right? It's crazy.
Wow. Patrick Connolly. Thank you. Patrick says some of it's magic, some of it's tragic, but I had a good life all the way. Quote Jimmy Buffett from He Went to Paris. It's a great line.
God bless him.
Yeah, for real. Okay. Other little headlines to get to. This was just utterly fascinating to me, how insane with outrage people are, or how much they're seeking to be outraged. There was a mom on TikTok. I guess she's popular. She's got a big following, and she's one of those like influencers who is often pregnant and does like pregnancy influencing. Like, here's what to wear when you're pregnant. Here's what to eat. Here's how to exercise.
I would have been the worst at that. God, it would have been so awful.
Since I was on bed rest for most of my pregnancies.
That would have been bad.
I'm like the case study of what not to do.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this pregnant woman, she's like doing like a big pregnant dance. You know, she's all super hot and she's, of course, just only belly. Right. And I guess she had been hearing a lot of comments because I don't know how many kids she had, but she had like a lot of girls. And so she was getting a lot of comments. Do you think it's going to finally be a boy this time? Do you think it's, she was constantly getting the comments about the gender. So she did a dance, and she doesn't speak in this TikTok video. She doesn't talk at all. She's just dancing, right? But the caption says, the point of view when you're constantly asked, are you finally going to have a boy? And really all you're just hoping for is a healthy baby. And, she's doing her cute little dance. She got so much pushback because of being ableist that I could not believe it. People were actually angry at her for wishing for a healthy baby. This is now the point that we've reached now, where you can't wish for a healthy baby because unhealthy babies deserve love too. This is their point.
What? Like,
I know.
You can't wish for a healthy baby anymore? No. Like that's
because you're basically saying if you get a baby that has health issues of any sort, then that sucks for you. Like you're not getting what you wanted. You're not getting the best possible baby. And you're not allowed to hope for your child's health. This is for real happening.
I swear. This is another thing that when I talked to my friend from middle school, she was like, I am not on social media. And it's because of shit like that. Like that's honest to God, she's not on. I don't know how she stays off it. I'm like, how do you stay off it? She's like, it's because everybody's dumb and I can't deal with dumb people. I just can't. I can't deal with them. So I just don't. Why she and her husband both are off. And I'm like, God, that's remarkable. You can stay off of it. And that's why. It's because of people like that.
Have you ever heard of anything so insane? So like there were some people, and of course, these are people who do not have unhealthy or disabled kids of any kind, being outraged on behalf of those people, thinking that those people would be outraged. So for example, I have a very disabled son.
You do.
I couldn't be less outraged at somebody wishing for a healthy child. I wish my son was healthy. I mean, why wouldn't I wish that?
Right.
That's just freaking bonkers. But there was so much backlash against her that she ended up taking the video down. And now you can only see it because other people like saved it and have reacted to it.
But again, that's a problem that she took it down.
I know.
God, this is the problem. People do that. Why do you never cave to the mob, man? Don't do it.
That's when you know that like the culture is truly and freaking
we're totally borked. Yeah. We've jumped every single shark of stupidity. Like all the sharks are dumb. They're all dumb and we've jumped every single one of them.
It's just freaking crazy.
Stupid.
Now, despite the fact that everybody is dumb, there is something smart that you can do about your own finances. And that is check out Bulwark Capital at knowyourriskradio.com. Because if you go to knowyourriskradio.com, you're going to get to know Zach Abraham even better than you already might if you're watching us with our podcast that we do with him every couple of weeks. So if you are a person who is worried about risk, if you are risk averse, Zach is your man. I am telling you this as a risk averse person. You know me. I am not a risk taker.
Yeah.
And I like to know that worst case scenarios, I'm protected. My money is protected. And so he is very much a person that can help people like me, people like you, if you're risk averse, feel a lot better about where their finances are. Check him out, knowyourriskradio.com, or you can call him 866-779-RISK. He's going to send you a free copy of his Common Sense Investing Guide when you do that. And so if you are nearing retirement, in retirement, concerned about risk and what the market's doing, check him out, knowyourriskradio.com.
Wait, did Gary Wright died too?
Who?
Gary Wright. He's the Dreamweaver guy, isn't he?
That's my family song.
It is. I know. Isn't that right? I'm right about that. He's the one who wrote Dreamweaver.
Is that right?
And My Love Is Alive. Like that is a banger right there. I'm just putting that out there. Yep. Somebody said, yeah.
Oh, and Bob Barker. Did we even, I think we mentioned last week.
I don't know if, I think we did mention Bob Barker.
Okay.
Bob Barker. But Gary Wright, I mean, that's like, that is some, I mean, you remember, he was 80?
Wow.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Yes. Wow, My Love is Alive. Come on, you got to love that song. You just like, you banged that song in the car. You're just like rocking out. You know you do, you guys. It's a great song. Anyway.
Also, Elon Musk is going to sue the Anti-Defamation League for $22 billion because they keep trying to accuse X, his Twitter platform, of being like anti-Semitic or something. And he's sick and tired of it. And so you know how he is. When he's mad about something, he's going to do something about it. And so he's going to be filing suit.
Well, good. Good for him. Right. Good for him.
Indeed.
All right.
And then one more thing, which is actually kind of apropos, seeing as how we were late and frantic this morning. And that is that 2 weeks from today, let me make sure I get the date right. September 18th. September 18th. Please make a note on your calendars that on September 18th, henceforth and forthwith, our show will be starting at 7:45
Eastern. Okay? 7:45
Eastern. Eastern time.
That's 6:45 Texas time, Central. That's 6:45 Central. All right, for all you Central people out there that are with me. All right.
7:45 Eastern.
What is the goal, Mock? Let's tell them what the goal is. The goal is eventually we're going to be 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central. That's the ultimate goal for us. We're trying to creep there very slowly.
That's probably, we hope to be at that goal, to reach that goal before the first of the year.
Yeah.
And
then
we promise it's going to stay.
That's it. We'll stick. We will stick there. But we've been inching there. We've been trying to ease you guys in there with 15-minute increments. And I love the later time too, because it's freaking early in Texas, you guys.
And then there's somebody that's already like, you're pushing the working people out. Well, but there's working people across the whole country,
right,
that are not included right now.
Yeah, in fact, there's a lot of Pacific, and we have excluded a whole Pacific Coast group of folks. And so that's, in fact, I've met some people who are Chicks on the Right people who want to watch our show live, and they're not able to do it because, like, historically we started so early that it was like, it is 4 a.m. my time when you, or I think it was it 4 a.m. or was it even 3 a.m. when we historically did the show? And they're like, there's no way I could watch your show. And so we were excluding a whole group of people over there, yonder in California and whatnot, So we thought, it'd be nice to be able to try to include some of those people. So we think an 8 a.m., 7 a.m., and then it would be a 5 a.m. time for them would be a nice cluster of times for everybody. So everybody would be able to try to watch us live. And that's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to include everybody on that. And we think that that's reasonable. We think that's reasonable for everybody.
And it's also more reasonable
for us.
Our personal sanity.
Right. Because I mean, it's for me, it's a 7 a.m. start time. And that means, because we got to get up and we have to prepare and all that kind of stuff. And we don't just get up, roll out of bed and like start the show.
I mean, there's a reason I get up at 4:30. You get up at 4:30. I mean, we get up early, and that's hard.
Right. So. It's hard every day. So we want to make sure that we are as prepared as possible and happy and ready to go for you guys. So doing this is also good for our personal sanity. Yeah.
And don't forget, that doesn't mean you can't watch. It just may mean you can't watch until later. You can watch anytime you want, because our videos don't go away. You just put them right in your pocket.
Right in your pocket. You can you subscribe, you put us right in your pocket. Yeah. And you just, if you want, even if you catch the last half hour, you want to watch the rest of it later, or however you can watch us, but you subscribe and watch us any old time.
Yes, and everyone's saying get boned too. I mean, if you're getting boned, that's an added bonus, right?
Yes.
That helps you. You can have your coffee and watch us any old time you want.
Absolutely.
All right. So that's not happening for a couple weeks. We'll remind you, but just wanted to make that announcement that September 18th, we're going to make that change. Mm-hmm. Okay. Please tell me do I have the most important video? Geez. Let me just double check. Let me just get.
And my husband he does morning duty with my daughter. Somebody asked about my daughter. He does morning duty with my daughter. I do afternoon pickup. So no worries about that.
No worries about that. Yeah, okay. I do have it. All right. Fauci. I do not understand why he continues to be making talk shows that anybody's giving him the time of day, but they are. And Mike Smirkonish, who I have to say I've not been terribly familiar with, and whose eyes are so constantly like this that it's a little distracting, I have to say. But I can get past it, so you guys can get past it. He interviewed Fauci about the whole mask thing, and the fact that there have now been studies that show masks do not work, you guys. The studies that have been the most comprehensive show that they have not had any kind of real impact on the spread of COVID.
Well, not only do they not work, but then they also had that one that came out that said there's some toxins in them.
Right.
So
that they can actually cause cancer and seizures. Why would you?
Right. Oh, let me go ahead and put that on my kid. Okay.
Right. My 2-year-old.
Thank you, but no. Yeah.
So Smirkonish had Fauci on to discuss, and he presented the results of that study to him. Fauci's answer to this is so absurd. And it doesn't, he's dancing around it so hard, you can tell, and it doesn't even make sense. You've got to listen to this. Here it is.
I'm going to refer to one of them. You've heard about it before. I heard about it from a number of radio callers. Brett Stevens in the Times talked about Cochrane. Put that on the screen. The most rigorous and comprehensive analysis of scientific studies conducted on the efficacy of masks for reducing the spread of respiratory illness, including COVID-19, was published last month. Its conclusions, said Tom Jefferson, the Oxford epidemiologist who is the lead author, were unambiguous. There is just no evidence that masks, make any difference. He told the journalist Mayan Demasi, full stop. But wait, hold on. What about the N95 masks as opposed to the lower quality surgical or cloth masks? Makes no difference. None of it, he said. Well, what about the studies that initially persuaded policymakers to impose mask mandates? They were convinced by non-randomized studies, flawed observational studies. How do we get beyond that finding of that particular review?
Yeah, but there are other studies, Michael, that show at an individual level for individual. When you're talking about the effect on the epidemic or the pandemic as a whole, the data are less strong. But when you talk about as an individual basis of someone protecting themselves or protecting themselves from spreading it to others, there's no doubt that there are many studies that show that there is an advantage. When you took at the broad population level, like the Cochrane study, the data are less firm with regard to the effect on the overall pandemic. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about an individual's effect on their own safety. That's a bit different than the broad population level.
Cover my ass, cover my ass, cover my ass. God. That's what he's totally doing. Yeah, he's talking to he makes zero sense there whatsoever.
No sense.
Yeah. I'm gonna protect myself from myself by wearing a mask. That's what he's trying to say.
Which is a completely different story than what he tried to say about masks forever, right?
Right.
God, he has been the king of flip-flops. And let's not forget what he said about masks way before COVID, right? I mean, I know everybody's seen this clip, but it's worth playing again because this was good times.
Right now, people should not be walking. There's no reason to be walking around with a mask. When you're in the middle of an outbreak, wearing a mask might make people feel a little bit better, and it might even block a droplet, but it's not providing the perfect protection that people think that it is. And often there are unintended consequences. People keep fiddling with the mask and they keep touching their face.
And can you get some schmutz sort of staying inside there?
Of course. But when you think masks, you should think of healthcare providers needing them and people who are ill.
God, this dude, he is just evil. Like, when is our side going to actually hold him accountable for all the stuff that he's done?
Question.
When is that going to happen? Because I'm so sick of seeing his face and hearing his non-lozenged voice. I'm sick of it. Like, give him a lozenge or just make him shut up. I cannot deal with this guy anymore. I cannot believe he's actually back doing the rounds, like you said.
I know.
Why is he still talking? After all the stuff that we know about him, I mean, after all the stuff that's come up, and the dude should be he should be in jail for the stuff that he's done.
And so, and it doesn't even matter that Smirkonish presented him the one study that has actually been scientifically done, a comprehensive study. That's the study everybody should be paying attention to. And then Fauci is still hanging his hat on these meaningless studies that were not well done at all. And I don't know why, as a scientist, in fact, he is science, if you ask him, why he's doing that so blatantly. But Michael Smirkonish also asked him about shutdowns. And as you remember, he tries to play both sides of that argument too. We'll have a little bit about that right now.
The question is, how long should a shutdown have been? And I think that there's varying degrees of differences in that. And I agree that if you look back at the things that I've said back then, we should try as best as possible to keep the schools open, and the schools that are closed, to get them open safely by any of the number of means, including increasing the ventilation in schools, making sure that the people around the children are properly vaccinated. So I agree. I mean, there was a point where we had to shut down, but the duration of the shutdown is something that is questionable. And I think people rather appropriately should be examining of whether or not things should have been shut down for so long. But the initial shutting down was something that really had to have been done, Michael, because we were in desperate situations then.
God, he lies so effortlessly, just like he lied to Congress.
Yep.
And if I lied to Congress, I would be put in jail, right? Like, you're not allowed to do that. But he lies, and it's like, it's fine. Just let him just keep running. Give him a pension. Give him the biggest pension of all. Like, what a complete jerk this guy is. He's evil. I'm so sick of seeing his face.
Well, and he tries to, he has talked out of every side of his face when it comes to shutdowns. Here's a little flashback.
First of all, I didn't recommend locking anything down.
And the record will show, Neil, that we didn't recommend shutting everything down.
I recommended to the president that we shut the country down.
Oh, my God.
And that was a very difficult decision because I knew it would have serious economic consequences, which it did.
Oh, okay. So he recommended it. And then 2 years later gets to try to say, I never recommended that.
I didn't do that. Does he realize that we have like video capability?
I know, right?
There's this thing called technology, you douche canoe. I swear. Like, they just don't think that we have that, and we do. And then liberals will defend this guy. Like, they'll still wear the shirts with his face on it. Brad Pitt will be like, I want to play him in the biopic of his life. It's just like, they're just insufferable.
Well, and he was asked also about whether federal mandates are going to be on their way back. And here is what he said.
I mean, mandating, I don't think is going to happen. There may be local mandates, Michael, and people keep thinking that the federal government is going to mandate that you wear a mask. That's not going to happen, but there may be individual institutions, organizations that are going to say, if you want to come to work, you've got to wear a mask. There's nothing that the federal government can do about that if people want to do it locally. I think people need to realize it is extremely unlikely that you're going to see a mandate, for example, from the CDC, which has no authority to mandate anything with regard to masks. They can only recommend it. So people essentially, for the most part, can do what they want to do based on their own evaluation of their own risk.
So if the airlines decide, because they're getting pressure from the federal government, that's just an institution that's deciding. It's not the federal government's mandating. The federal government just mandates that certain institutions do it. So what's the difference?
And the CDC isn't now like that one woman who's kind of back crap. Isn't she the one that's heading up the CDC? Mm-hmm. And she's going to recommend all sorts of things that are completely crazy. Right. And that's what happened. That's what happened the last time, is that the CDC recommended all these things. And they recommended things for schools, for all these institutions. And all those people were like, yes, sir, may I have another? And that's precisely what happened. And so it trickled down, and all these people thought they had to put in all these draconian measures, and people lost their jobs. All sorts of things happened. And it affected people. It affected families. It affected livelihoods. It affected financial. Everything, every facet of our lives were affected by that. So you can't tell me that it's like, oh, the federal government has no say in what happens in people's lives. Shut up.
Right.
They have. It was totally draconian. It was tyrannical. We watched it happen, and we're not going through that again. There are so many people
not going to forget what all of these people did to us. And there's a nice little montage someone put together of various leaders, kicking it off with Justin Trudeau, of how they dare to say now that there was never any forced vaccinations. No one was ever forced to take the jab. How dare they?
I know.
It's so infuriating. So here's a great montage that just lets you see the hypocrisy in action.
Individuals are allowed to make their own choices. There may be all sorts of different reasons why someone is hesitant to get vaccinated. And therefore, while not forcing anyone to get vaccinated, enforcement measures in place will make sure that everyone is vaccinated.
People to have their jobs, to keep their jobs, were forced to have the vaccination. Now, do you retract your statement that they were not forced?
Senator, no, I believe firmly that nobody was forced to have a vaccine.
As people that don't have this mandatory vaccine, how do we manage this?
Well, then they won't be going to work.
Unreal.
Okay.
It's very, very simple.
I believe everybody was offered an opportunity to get a vaccine or not get a vaccine. I don't believe that anybody was forced to take a vaccine.
We have said no, you must get vaccinated.
In terms of the vaccine mandates, I acknowledge that it was a challenging time for people, but they ultimately made their own choices.
A vaccine mandate is being expanded to around 40% of all workers.
You basically set the two different classes of people. If you're vaccinated or if you're unvaccinated, you have all these rights. If you are vaccinated...
That is what it is, so yep. Hospitality, hairdressers and gyms can operate at all levels if they ask customers for a vaccine certificate.
There was no compulsory vaccination. People made their own choices.
And so it follows that if customers must be vaccinated, then so too must the workers.
I mean, they just act like we forgot all of that.
Trudeau sits like a woman too. I just need to point that out. Why does he sit like a woman, you guys? It's just, he totally does. Yeah. Isn't the chick at the end, the New Zealand chick? Isn't she gone? She's gone now, right? Yeah,
she's gone. But I mean, it's not forgotten.
No. Oh God. None of us we'll never forget what happened, right? None of us will ever forget. And you already see, like, all over social media, people are like, don't you do that again. Don't you even try it again, because we're not going to do.
Not happening.
No.
Not happening. Shelley says the next strain is coming. It's named BS 24/7.
It's so true. And isn't it interesting? I mean, it's like they think that we've learned nothing. People who are critical thinkers, they're doing it right before the election. I mean, come on.
Like, really?
It's just clockwork, you guys. It's all textbook. It's like we've been through I guess there are some people who are dumb enough to fall for this crap, you know? But then there are the rest of us who are like, seriously? Really? Okay.
I have several videos to share that relate to how borked this election is. So borked, you guys. And that is, the reason it's borked is because so many of us don't like the fact that we're going to have a Biden-Trump matchup again. And when I say so many of us, I'm saying, according to lots and lots of polling, it's about 70% of the country would like to see two different people be the nominees of both parties. Like, nobody's happy with anybody right now. And so there's a montage of videos to share about some of the latest polling and reaction to that. We'll kick it off with Mark Thiessen.
Where are we in this campaign?
7 in 10 Americans are absolutely right. Joe Biden is too old for the job. He's not mentally fit for the job. You just look at how he's declined in the last 15 months, and you imagine where he's going to be 15 months from now. But the other reality is a similar number of Americans don't think that Donald Trump should be the nominee of the Republican Party. You've got the American people who are speaking very clearly to both parties. 7 in 10 don't want a Trump-Biden rematch, and both parties seem to be sticking their fingers in the air saying, nah, I can't hear you, I can't hear you. And so the Democrats are convinced that Trump is so unpopular he can't win. Republicans are convinced Biden is so unpopular and so old he can't win. They can't both be right if they nominate those people. So whether you're Republican or Democrat, if you nominate someone that 7 in 10 Americans are saying they don't want to be on the ballot, don't be surprised if you lose.
All right.
So that's one take.
Well, that's depressing as hell. All right.
There's also, there's more. Then we have Karl Rove also, dealing with those same numbers and commenting on them. Here he is.
Yeah, the number of among all voters is 37% are less likely to vote for Donald Trump because of the indictments. 24% say they're more likely. The more likely, that 24% are overwhelmingly Republican. The 37% are largely Democrat and significantly independent. But, you go into a general election with the independents going against you strongly because of those indictments. That's a problem for the Republican nominee if it's Donald Trump. And again, it's not going to get any better. The New York hush money thing may go by the wayside, but these other cases are very serious and are going to present problems for the sitting president. And you mentioned 16% of Republicans believe that he has done something illegal in at least one of the three major cases, and as a result are less likely to vote for him. In 2020, he received 91% of Republicans. He lost 8% to either voting for Biden or voting for a third-party candidate. What happens if he loses 16% or 20% of Republicans in 2024? He's dead at the polls in November, as is the GOP.
That's not at all encouraging.
I mean, listen, he's gonna be the guy, right? I mean, Trump is gonna be our guy.
There's still so much. So many people are like, it's not over. And
it's over. It's totally over. He's going to be our guy. He's going to be our guy, So and I will stand behind him. It's just that I don't know about everybody else.
Yeah. That's the problem is that the GOP can't afford to lose a single solitary person.
No.
And I just think that they have already and are going to continue to do that. But the 7 out of 10 people who don't want this matchup again is the whole reason for the no labels movement, this no labels party. I know we've talked about that before. Larry Hogan is sort of like leading that up. And he, I don't think we've played this clip of him about that before. So here he is explaining this is not trying to ruin Trump at all. This is responding to those 70% of the country.
No labels is not an effort to try to help Donald Trump and to be a spoiler for Joe Biden. I don't think there's a soul in this organization that's trying to promote Donald Trump. And we don't get into the process and how and why. Basically, you got to figure why are we in this situation? We're in this situation because we have two potential terrible nominees of the two major parties that 70% of the people in America don't want. That's what no labels is about. It's a citizen saying, maybe we have to try something else.
To the point you just made, does that mean a Republican like yourself in your mold, perhaps, or even you, has to be at the top of the no labels ticket? Should there be a no labels ticket?
I think we should only put together a ticket in the event that it's Trump and Biden. I'm still trying to work to make sure we can get a good Republican nominee. And it's no longer necessary. But it has.
I thought that was interesting that he was like, we're only going to do this if those are the two nominees.
It will never work. The no labels thing will never work. And I truly believe that a lot of this is based on, people may say, I don't want a Trump Biden matchup again, but people in this country are all about name recognition, period. And I can't remember what a friend of ours sent something to us over the weekend. I can't remember where it was, where it came from, like what publication, but there was a guy that wrote an article about name recognition in this country and how that's like a big, and I didn't necessarily agree with the article, everything that was in the article, because I don't think it's all about name recognition, but this no labels thing is a bunch of bull crap to me. There are a lot of people in this country who are just not plugged in like we are, like the people in our audience, like the people in our community. The case in point is kind of like, I'll bring up my middle school friend. She is not political at all. We do not talk about politics. She's not on social media. She doesn't care about this crap. She'll God only knows who she's going to vote for. I don't ask, but I will tell you that she's not plugged in. My millennial kids, they've never even heard of this no party crap. And when they go to the polls, I know exactly who they're going to vote for. And they don't even hear about this stuff. They don't know. We are plugged into this stuff because we're hyper political. right? I mean, there is a very small percentage of the country that is hyper political, but this no labels bullcrap is what it is. It's just bullcrap to me. It's like, it's sort of like, no offense against libertarians, because I believe a lot of the stuff that they believe, but they are never going to win elections. They just don't win.
What if that point works in reverse? So I totally agree with you that it's about name recognition, but with these two names that are so universally disliked, what if that means that a person who isn't plugged in goes to the polls and they're like, oh my God, I cannot stand Biden. I cannot stand Trump. I'm going to go with this third person and hope for the best.
I just think those people won't go to the polls.
Really?
I think I said that's what, just knowing what I know as a precinct chair, I think if they see a Trump Biden matchup and they're just so disillusioned, they're not even going to go to the polls. Why even bother? They're just not going to go, Mock. That's what I think is going to happen in this election. They'll just be so disillusioned and so irritated and so, over it that they just won't go. That's what I've seen in the past. That's what I saw in 2022. It's like, they just don't show up. They don't go. Why bother? Screw it. It's all going to be rigged anyway. What do I care? They just won't go. That's what I think is going to happen. So
there's one more video in the series that's just from a chick at the the Independent Women's Forum, who is also talking about the No Labels Party. Her name's Kaylee. And I just thought, well, I'll just play her too, just to weigh in on the no labels thing. And go.
Well, No Labels sees a path to victory because so many polls show that the American voters are fed up with both Joe Biden and Donald Trump. Basically, everyone who was polled said that they don't want to support either candidate. And one recent poll found that 47% of Americans said that they would consider supporting a third-party bid. And this one recent AP poll, when voters were asked to describe what they thought of the two leading candidates, they called Biden old and they called Donald Trump corrupt. So is this the best that we can do? Are these really the only options that we're going to give voters? Many independents, many swing voters are saying, you know what, we might take a look at a different candidate.
That's a big number, 47% that they are willing to look at somebody else.
Yeah. I mean, I hear them, but I'll believe it when I see it.
It's just going to be such a weird election, you guys.
It's going to be a very weird election.
So weird.
But I will believe it when I see it. Just like, listen, they told me a lot of crap in 2022 as well. There's going to be a red wave. Oh my God.
Who didn't believe that? Who didn't?
I know. I know. And it's like red wave. It's going to be, oh my God, red wave. I mean, it's like constant. The media is full of crap. I just don't believe them. I don't believe anything they say. So when they tell me one thing, I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and believe the opposite thing, because you guys are full of crap. And the polls, it's like, I never trust polls.
Oh, I totally trust that 70% of this country does not want this matchup.
Okay.
I completely believe that.
All right. I hear you on that. But like, even when Trump says, oh my God, the polls, I'm like, I'm skeptical of polls. I just don't trust them. I don't trust any of the polls. I've never been polled.
That's true. I think I was polled, but it was a long time ago. It was way, way, way back that I actually did a phone call survey, but it was like a statewide one. It was an Indiana one. So it wasn't even that exciting.
No one's ever asked me what I feel about things, which is why we have a show. Yeah.
You guys, amazingly, Omaha Steaks is still doing their 50% site-wide sale off of everything off their website at omahasteaks.com. If you go to omahasteaks.com, put the word chicks in the search bar, it's going to take you to a page that shows all of their best, most popular packages right now that are hugely, hugely discounted. And all of those packages, you get a freebie. When you enter chicks into the search bar, you get 8 free burgers and hot dogs with your select orders. And you guys, I wanted to share this. Remember how we've talked about the sides?
Oh my God, yes.
The second thing, I mean, obviously everything looks amazing, but the second thing right now are these scalloped potatoes.
Oh my God.
And I don't even know how to describe. Like, it looks like it's a small thing, right? Like it looks like it's about the size of maybe a 4-ounce filet.
Uh-huh.
And when I first opened one in the package, and I was like, I'm going to need like 6 of these just for myself.
Uh-huh.
But you don't.
They're super rich. They're rich.
Yes, they're so rich and so filling and so delicious. and they're amazing. And the other thing that I saw is that they also have skillet meals. So if you are somebody who's maybe not wanting to deal with a grill on any particular given day, and you just want something you can throw into a skillet and have it be ready in like 10 to 15 minutes, they have so many different skillet meals to choose from too. So good. So check it out. Make sure to take advantage right now, because I don't know when this Labor Day sale is going to end. It could be literally any moment. So get there today. Take advantage of the 50% off site-wide sale. omahasteaks.com, and just put the word chicks in the search bar and enjoy, because it's some good
That green
stuff.
bean casserole makes me like think about how Thanksgiving is right around the corner. I need to put up my Christmas tree, you guys.
Somebody told, who was it? I think was my husband or my son that told me that Mariah Carey's that song, the Christmas song,
Yes,
is like already being played.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It can't be. Are you serious?
No, I immediately thought of you when I heard that, and I was like, it's her fault.
All I Want for Christmas Is You.
Yeah.
I am all about it. It's already playing. Where's it playing?
Already,
At Walmart?
like Spotify. There's already being like requests for it on Spotify, and I was
I
like,
gotta put I gotta put my tree up like right now. That means I gotta put it up.
We're gonna move from Halloween to Labor Day.
Forget Halloween. It's just gonna right after Labor Day. I gotta put it up. Halloween,
Oh my gosh.
Halloween, schmalloween, whatever. Whatever.
We mentioned Jill Biden has COVID. I would assume that means her husband is likely to get it like at any moment, because they do seem to spend a lot of time together. But I did want to show a couple clips of Joe Biden, because he was asked by a reporter about why he hasn't been to East Palestine, Ohio yet. Because it's been like a year, right? Hasn't it been like a year?
It's been, yeah. I don't know if it's maybe a year. Has it been a year? Maybe
Feels
9.
like it's been a year.
I feel like it's been, maybe 9 months, a year, something like that. He's been busy though. Mock.
Well, he's been very,
really
very busy.
Very busy on vacation. I don't know why you're chastising him for that.
Well, it's interesting because when the reporter asks him about it, Biden claims that he just hasn't had an opportunity.
Hasn't had time.
You guys, here he is.
You said in March that you would go to East Palestine, Ohio. You came here. How come you haven't gone to East Palestine yet?
Well, I haven't had the occasion to go to East Palestine. There's a lot going on here, and I just haven't been able to break. I was thinking whether I'd go to East Palestine this week, but I then was reminded I've got to go literally around the world. I'm going from Washington to India to Vietnam and so it's going to be a while. But we're making sure that East Palestine has what they need materially in order to deal with their problems.
He hasn't had the occasion to go.
After he's been on vacation like a gajillion weeks. He's like, and after I go to India, I'm going to go to Rehoboth. I'm going to go to Rehoboth, but I won't go to East Palestine. I'm not going to do that. No. The people there have got to be seething.
Oh, I can't imagine. I cannot even imagine. I mean, they're still dealing with fallout.
Oh, totally. Are you kidding me? Like they've got to hate him. Like people in people in Hawaii have to hate him. Like they have to just hate him at this. there have to be like just pockets of people everywhere, besides us, of course, who absolutely hate this guy.
Yeah.
And are like this, like you have just ruined people's lives at this point, economically and in so many different ways. He's a disgrace to this country. I mean, like there's no way this guy can be reelected. There's just no way, right?
I mean,
he sucks, you guys. He just totally sucks. I mean, it's not like, at least when Trump was president, he did good things. Like you could hate him for the person that you think that he is, whatever. You could say, oh, he's a racist, even though he wasn't. I mean, you could say all the things and say he's orange. I don't like him. He has mean tweets. I would never date him. Okay, whatever. I don't want to date the guy. Okay. I just wanted to like run the country. He ran the country well. He did a great job running the country. He did good things for people. Biden, his record speaks for itself. It sucks.
Yeah. And nobody buys it when they try to say how great Bidenomics is and how everything's working exactly the way that they wanted. We're the best economy in the world, blah, blah, blah.
It's
People
terrible.
care how their own wallets are impacted.
Yeah.
That's what they feel in the economy. That's what they care about.
Mm-hmm.
He's also making fun of his own age, as he does in this clip.
I tell you what, someone said, that Biden, he's getting old, man. I tell you what. Well, guess what? The only thing that comes with age is a little bit of wisdom. I've been doing this longer than anybody, and I guess what? I'm going to continue to do it with your help. Look.
Oh my God.
Guess what?
Guess what? Guess what? You know what?
I'm not
You know
kidding.
what,
You think I'm kidding? Guess what?
Right. A lot of other things come with old age too. We could list a lot of things that come with old age, like dementia, and it's all sorts of like health ailments, think of the things that come. Yeah. Alzheimer's. Yeah. Lots of stuff comes with old age. And it's like, you don't need to be running again. He doesn't need 4 more. Can you imagine 4 more years with this guy?
When you see how quickly the decline has been just over the last year,
Mm-hmm.
and then you think, what is it going to look like next year?
Right.
And then we're going to have Kamala? Are you freaking kidding me?
The comments are cracking me up. Moist farts. People are like, depends. Yes, incontinence. All those things come with old age. Yes, all of those. All those things come with old age, you guys. Guys, I love our community so much. You guys are just, you could. I love what you, the participation. Don't jump. Don't jump.
Mm-hmm. He had one of his advisors on one of the talk shows with Shannon Bream, and Shannon was really pushing this guy, Jared Bernstein, I think his name is, or Bernstein. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Anyway, this guy, unbelievable lying, because she says right to his face, listen, people are paying double for mortgages what they paid before you guys took office.
Yep.
What do you have to say for yourselves? And he actually dares to say out loud that it's really not true that the average amount of a mortgage these days is double, because the average, you have to take into account all the people that got their great rates and locked in before the hikes. He's trying to take credit for like all of Trump's low interest rates by saying, no, that it's just that's wrong. The average of home ownership right now isn't double because so many people are locked into low rates. Those people might want to get out of the low rates and they can't. They can't move because they are stuck because of Bidenomics. And the way that he spins this is just remarkable. Check this out.
Mm-hmm.
Biden has long sought to do with this economy. Build it from the middle out and the bottom up so that middle income people have a fair shake at getting ahead.
Okay, so a lot of things packed in there. Let's talk about other numbers. That the average mortgage price that people are paying now is more than double than when you guys took office. We've hit a record of $1 trillion in credit card debt. People have blown through savings that they had during COVID. And 61% now tell us they're living paycheck to paycheck. Is that Bidenomics?
So some of this we have to kind of do some live fact checking here. So the average mortgage is not as you represented.
The payment hasn't doubled.
That's for people who got new mortgages. So the average mortgage, you have to consider the 9 out of 10 people who are paying have locked in a mortgage that's well below 7%. So the average mortgage has not at all gone up that much at all because most people's mortgage hasn't changed.
But if you talk about people trying to get into low-income housing that you're encouraging, if they can't afford a 7% mortgage, they're not going to get into any house.
Well, this is why we need to continue our efforts to expand affordable housing. Now, look.
Who is this clown? So this clown, I'm assuming, is a federal employee who just got a 5.2% raise, right?
I'm sure he did enjoy that new raise.
I hope you enjoy that, you schmuck. Yeah, you're welcome, while the rest of us struggle. God, what a jerk. These people are so out of touch. And for him, the audacity for him to like have Biden take credit for that. What is it at now? What is it like? What is the interest rate?
I think it's 7.
Is it actually 7? 7%.
It's just insane.
And then if you tack that on to the actual price of a house, which is outrageous. Like, I mean, we were just like yesterday, we're driving around in our area, which we live in a small town, very small town, where homes are like, I mean, there will be like a really nice home. Texas is sort of like it is the Wild West. It is legit Wild West out here, where you have a nice house and then you'll have like, kind of like a trailer next to it. There are no rules where I live, right? And so like the nice house, which should be like a $200,000 home. And I'm not even kidding. It should be that $200,000 home is like priced at about $450,000 right now. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And so if you take that $450,000 home, put a 7% interest rate on it, people can't afford these homes.
No,
it's outrageous.
And think about kids starting out.
Right.
It used to be that you could afford a starter home. That's not even a thing
No,
anymore.
there
Kids
is no such
cannot
thing.
afford homes anymore. They
There's
just can't.
no such thing as a starter home.
And then the rents are out of control. So
Oh my
kids are
God.
really screwed right now.
Yeah, rents are just as much, if not more, than a mortgage for an insane. It's insanity. This is why this is why when I hear kids are living with their parents, I'm like, okay, I don't even look at that kid sideways anymore because they can't move out.
Right. Even if they're making good money, even if they're saving money, you got to be in the six figures at this point to be able to buy a house right now.
It's insane.
Like it's impossible. It's just crazy. Stacey Graham, thank you. Stacey says Biden is not even campaigning. It seems fishy to me. Yeah, I mean, he didn't campaign the first time. I mean, he's never campaigned. He's always been in his basement.
He won't campaign. He won't debate.
Yeah.
He won't.
Robin Zecca and Jeff Kuhn. I hope I'm saying that right. Thank you very, very much for those super stickers. Appreciate that. All right, let's get to some news about what's going on with the migrants in New York City really quickly, because there is a hotel that apparently is completely now booked solid. Over 1,000 rooms are completely filled with migrant families at an enormous cost. If you're in New York, man, you are spending some money on these people. Listen to this.
Here we go. Shining example of American ingenuity, American greatness. Today, this hotel is fully occupied. All 1,025 rooms completely booked, full of illegal migrant families being housed here at a cost of $6,000 per month per family. That's $75 million in taxpayer money used here at this one hotel in Midtown Manhattan. The worst part of the story, this hotel is owned by the Pakistani government. That's right, the same government that housed Osama bin Laden is now getting $75 million a year from American taxpayers to house families that are here illegally in America.
Oh my God, that's just outrageous. How does this even happen? I don't understand how this even comes into play. I don't get it. Like how there are deals being made by legislators and they just don't care about the American taxpayer. They're just like, yeah, we're going to go ahead and do this. Like we're going to use your taxpayer money to do this.
Yeah.
And this is in no way benevolent. Like this is not being nice to people. It's like they're screwing us. That's what they're doing.
Because I'm sure there's a lot of folks that are homeless in New York City going, hey, I was born here. Hi, I'm here.
Oh my God. A ton of them. Absolutely. A ton of them. Like I saw a video this weekend of a woman who is in Chicago and she's like, we're in a nice area in Chicago and the migrants they've taken over that area. And they're housing migrants in that area of Chicago. And she's like, it used to be that, we worked our butts off our whole adult lives to live in this area of Chicago. And now we're like, what are we supposed to do? They're just like paying for these illegals to live here and they're ruining it. They're ruining that area. And what are these people supposed to do? But then again, I look at her and I'm like, you probably voted for the policymakers that are making the policies that are making that happen. So there's a part of me that's like, you made that happen. I want to say that I feel sorry for those people and I feel sorry for the things that are happening, but there's a part of me that doesn't feel sorry for them.
I just feel sorry for every conservative voter in New York that's putting up with this crap.
Yeah, I do too.
They certainly did not vote for this bullshit.
And they're paying for it.
Meanwhile, it sounds like the House, whatever is it, the Intelligence Committee, the Judiciary Committee, I can't even remember which committee is like looking into the Hunter Biden stuff, but it's the one that Nancy Mace is on. And Nancy Mace was on a talk show to talk about how absolutely incredible the evidence is that's pouring in about the money that the Bidens made. And so it cracks me up because I don't know what show she's doing this on. I think it's a podcast of some sort, but she's just like, she drops an F-bomb, like a censored version of the F-bomb to talk about just the insane figures that they're dealing with and how they are very much looking forward to finally presenting hard evidence to the American people. I'm still waiting for that. I don't know what the holdup is.
Yeah, exactly.
But here she is with a little bit of an update.
If the American people could see what we saw in the SARS, and the reason that we can't come and give everybody the files is because they're confidential, and I would technically be breaking the law if I revealed the information in them. which is why I keep talking about these bank records. The bank records will prove the SARS out. The first thing that I want the American people to know is the amount of money in the alleged laundering and bribery scheme is astronomical. It is staggering. It is shocking. And it would blow your effing mind if you knew how much money we were talking about. Now, within those SARS documents as well, one of the consistent things that we saw is that the Biden family took a third cut of all the money as part of this money laundering scheme. We now know that every time Joe Biden has been asked questions about this, he has lied about it. We now know that Joe Biden also used a number of pseudonyms. We found out yesterday the National Archives now has 5,000 plus emails that include Joe Biden's pseudonyms, and he communicated with his son about his businesses. He was on phone calls with his son's business partners talking about presumably the businesses and the outcomes and what they were trying to do, whatever schemes they were building out. We know all of this now. We're starting to prove this out. And one of the things that we have to do is we have to show all the evidence to the American people because they don't trust Congress, but I want them to trust the evidence. We now.
Yeah.
Okay, so show us.
Like unprivatize them. What is the holdup?
I know. Just freaking show us. I'm so sick of this garbage. I'm just sick of it because this is all impeachable.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Trump got impeached for a phone call.
Yep.
This is obviously impeachable. So just show us already and get rid of this guy.
I know. It's so infuriating.
It really is. Unless it's like put up or shut up,
Right.
Just over it. Overall.
Also, I'm not familiar with this person. I know his name is Phil Bump, and he is from the Washington Post.
Okay.
And he was on a podcast where he was asked about Hunter Biden and all of the evidence, the text messages, all of the stuff that is so clearly it's so clearly a marker for criminal activity. And he, this podcaster is asking this WAPO guy to at least explain, well, what do you make of these text messages? What are you saying about these text messages? The defensiveness and inability for this guy to recognize reality is remarkable. Look at this.
What do you take from the text message to his adult daughter, Hunter's text message, I have to give 50% of my income to Pop?
I have no idea what that means. I have no idea what that means.
Well, it's
I know it's circumstantial evidence, and you prefer that.
No, what could
I have no idea.
But doesn't it?
I don't know.
Well,
I appreciate your.
Has anybody asked her?
I don't know. I don't know.
Don't you think somebody should ask her?
Okay. I'm not. I just said I don't know, and I don't know what to make of it, so I have nothing to say about it.
Yeah,
what
but
do you want to say?
Yeah, but you say there's no evidence, but then there's a text message where he says, "I give Pop 50% of my money." That's evidence.
Okay. Well, okay, fine.
So
it's evidence. I appreciate you having me on.
It doesn't. That something like that.
Oh my God.
Who do you think is more? I listen to that and I'm saying,
am I?
You can free to go.
I feel you want me to leave, like just walk out in the middle of this because that way you can say.
You can go. Is this a standard? Really, this is the way the Washington Post handles people who disagree with them.
When I agree to be on for 45 minutes,
go,
and then
go.
I get on for an hour and 15. Yeah, that after a while I go.
Go.
Thanks for having.
Oh my God, that guy is so squirrely. That's how you know that they just can't deal. They can't deal with
journalism.
That's journalism now, right? What a squirrely little dude,
right? Just incredible.
He can't deal with it. I mean, you ask him about his precious Democrat leader, and being a criminal, and he's like, I gotta go, I can't deal, I gotta go, I can't deal with it. Yeah, the whole family is corrupt, Derek. They're all just a bunch of criminals. And he can't deal.
And apparently the WAPO doesn't think it makes sense to ask the daughter, hey, what did this text message mean?
Yeah, they can't ask those questions because they're journalists. And journalists these days are not journalists. They're actually in bed with Democrats. That's what journalists these days do, is they get in bed and all snuggly and they smoke cigarettes. With the Democrats. That's what they do. This is why when I tell you that I hear our media talking about, they tell us stuff about polls and what's going on. I'm just like, I don't believe you.
Yeah.
I don't believe a word you say. Your actions speak so loudly. I cannot hear what you say because they're all full of crap.
And Luke is like, or hey, did you shower with your dad? Hey.
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing.
No one's going to ask her.
No one's going to ask her. No one's going to ask any of these questions.
Did you guys hear? I'm sure you all have, because it exploded. That Oprah Winfrey and The Rock created a foundation to raise money for Hawaii after the fires. And, I'm sure The Rock has property there. Oprah has like 20 acres or something there, 200 acres, I forget. So the problem with their plea, their little TikTok and their social media video plea to people to send money to Hawaii, is it doesn't sound like they're giving any money to Hawaii themselves. They're just creating this foundation to make other people give money to Hawaii. And there is a woman that did the most brilliant TikTok about this that has to be shared. It's so perfect. Check this out.
We're concerned with what's happening in Maui. We thought we'd ask you to do something about it. You being other billionaires? I know, just like regular normal people. Right, okay, but you're giving 10 million. Well, we've committed to giving 10 million. What does that mean? Well, we haven't actually given it yet, but we're committed to giving it via you. Sorry, what was that? We're committed to giving the 10 million through your donations. What do you say at the end there? We'd like you to donate, and that's how we'll get to the 10 million. I thought that you already pledged the 10 million. Well, we've sort of committed that on behalf of you. So you haven't given 10 million, then you've just set a goal of raising it. Well, so you've committed other people's money to your own charity you just set up. With disasters like this, the number one need is money. Aren't you a multi-billionaire? Well, yes. $1 billion is 1,000 million. And you have multiple billion. Yes. And you also own 2,000 acres in Maui.
2,000.
Don't you have both the means and the moral obligation to help the community you live in? Hello? Oprah?
Yeah.
Guys, I think she's Mitch McConnell.
Yeah, that's not okay.
They look so bad. They are just getting. It's like the one thing that has unified the right and the left is our just sheer outrage, disbelief that these two billionaires are saying, "Oh, we think you guys should send a bunch of money."
Right. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, and her house was completely, everything is fine, everything's wonderful, and then she's just like, I'm living large and everything's great, and then you guys give a bunch of money. You guys give the money. I've got like 18 other houses all over the country, but you guys give the money. I mean, she's got a house for like her dogs, she's fine. Everybody else is fine in her family. Everything's fine, you guys, but you guys give the money. Wow.
You do it.
It's isn't it remarkable?
It's just
it's gross. It's just gross.
It's pretty gross. It's pretty gross. All right, it is time for your whack.
Okay. So there's a thing called Lunars. Mock is the one who showed this to me last week, you guys. Okay, so you guys know what OnlyFans is. It's where everybody goes to make money now, apparently. Like, we're the only people who are not on OnlyFans.
Are you allowed to be on it without being naked? That's the question.
I don't want to be on it at all. It's like a place where people go to just do all the sexual things. Well, there's this chick, Dasha is her name. Of course, her name is Dasha Daly. She makes these videos where apparently and listen, I read that she does like 20 of these a week. This is a fetish with people. She does like 20 of these a week, and she makes like $300 a pop. So she's making just with these types
You said a pop.
I did. You see what I did there? And she will get on these. This is what it is. So it's a fetish. Okay. They're called Lunars. Okay.
Lunars.
Yeah. People who are sexually aroused by balloons. Okay.
And specifically them getting popped.
Right. And she does disgusting things, on balloons.
But doesn't she also just pop them?
Yeah, sometimes
that's
pop them.
enough.
But her neighbors are complaining because she's constantly popping balloons in her apartment. And she lives in an apartment. She doesn't live in a house. You think she'd have a house by now. She has enough money. My God, she makes so much money doing this.
Yeah.
But anyway, she doesn't. She lives in an apartment, and the people that live next to her are complaining about the noise because she's constantly popping balloons with her naked body. This is what's happening.
She's a good-looking girl. Clearly.
But listen, I think that what bothers me the most is not so much that she's doing it, but there are people who are paying for her to do it. And it's not just like a one-off. It's like she's doing like 20 of these a week, in addition to all the other things she's doing.
Is this better or worse than the people who are paying those NPC video people?
Like I don't know if it's better. I think it's all crazy.
It's also
I know.
bad,
when Mock and I were together in Nashville, she was showing me all the TikToks of the NPC, meaning like the people who pretend to be
the non-playable characters in video games.
Yeah, where they're like catching things in and they're constantly going like this, and they're like
so weird.
It's bizarre. There's so many of those people, and they're just making so much money. Like they make more money than I can't. It's insane how much money they're making, and people are just giving them piles and piles of cash.
Why? Like I will never understand the people that are giving the money.
I don't either, but they do. And so she's one of these people. So there's a thing called Lunars. We couldn't know that alone. It's whack. And y'all need to know that. And I just wish that people would stop it. Just stop. Just stop it. Please? Just stop being so crazy and weird. Just stop it. Anyway, that's your whack.
It is time for some MyPillow talks. MyPillow still having mega sales on everything. And they always do, but right now it's because they're celebrating their anniversary, 20 years, which is a big deal. So they've got extra mega sales on tons of stuff. Make sure that you are checking out when you go to mypillow.com/chicks and scroll down a little bit, there's a box that says 80% clearance sale. Go there, because like that's where the deepest discounts are. So you're going to go there, you're going to see, oh my gosh, this thing is 80% off. When you go to check out and you use code chicks, it's going to be even more. So just make sure that you're going to mypillow.com/chicks using code chicks. That's how you're going to get the biggest discounts and help celebrate their 20th anniversary with them, you guys. Kathy Griffin.
Yeah.
Look at her face.
I think she's an alien.
Hi, you guys. Okay, pardon my ignorance, but I just came back from my daily walk to the beach, and I was watching the surfers, which I find fascinating. It's I didn't see one chick, by the way. It was every single one was dudes, and there were like 30. Anyway, this is a really dumb question, but it's a really cloudy day. In fact, it was raining a little bit here in Malibu.
It doesn't even matter what she's asking. I didn't even listen. I was just so mesmerized by the fact that she looks like a fully made up Star Trek character.
Yeah, it's not. It's because she's had everything stretched and like puffed up and filled. And there's in her lips. I don't know if you saw the thing like a couple weeks ago where she had her lips done. And it's like, I don't even know what happened there. I thought she was kidding, but she had her lips done. And like it looked like two red, like gigantic caterpillars were on her face. I don't even know. And she thought it was great to just show everybody that, like, look.
Oh
it was bad. It was really bad.
Oh my God. I know that you and I have done like actual videos about gender reveal parties and how completely silly they are. Now they're just getting stupid because there's been a lot of death and destruction from them. And you would think that those incidents would maybe give people pause a little bit before they go to all of these great, ridiculous lengths to do gender reveal stuff. Well, now a pilot has died. And so I think this guy speaks for a lot of us.
This has got to be the last one, right? We're done after this. I think this is the final straw. Rest in peace to the pilot. Just make this a thing of the past. These reveal things. What happened to the old days? I think we should go back there. Where you put a stake in your front yard. It's one of those big birds, and it's a boy or it's a girl. Go back to those days, or you have a bunch of people over and there's a big cake and you cut the cake open. It's blue, it's pink. No more.
Oh my God. So he died? He died?
Yes. That pilot crashed and died. And for the longest time, apparently, the people that were at that gender reveal thing, they thought that was a big trick. That was all part of the big reveal, is that there was going to be this amazing like explosion or something. And it took them a hot minute to realize that did not go as planned. Because they just saw the pink smoke and they were like, oh, yay. They were all super happy about that. And then
why would you do this? Why? God, yes, they need to end. You know how I feel about gender reveal parties. I think they are dumb.
Yeah.
I think it's all dumb. God.
And there's just so much one-upmanship now. Like,
it's just
how
ridiculous.
extravagant can you go?
Why would they hire a pilot? Oh my God.
It's just insane.
The dumbest thing ever. God, it's like, I'm sorry. It's such a millennial thing. It's just a look at me, look at me. Oh my gosh. Just stop it. Stop.
I remember when we found out that Jackson was going to be a boy, and there was like a certain group of people that knew that I was going in for that ultrasound that day or whatever, that wanted to know. And so the way that we revealed his gender was I created a email message, right? Like I started a new message, and in the subject line, I said, it's a ... And then in the actual body of the message, I said boy. That was my big reveal.
Yeah. I think I did something similar where I just told everybody via email. I just was like, we're having and it's a girl. That's basically what we did. Yeah. I mean, we told the people that, like, maybe the 10 people that were important to tell, and that was it. And then everybody else kind of found out later.
Right.
You know, that's kind of how people used to do that, you know? And then some people never found out. You know what I mean? It's like, remember back in the day,
some people still don't know.
Some people, but you know what I mean? Like, some people back in the day just didn't find out the gender until the baby was born. Remember when people used to do that too? I mean, that was fun, you know?
That was fun.
Yeah, sometimes that's fun, but man, this is it's out of hand, you guys.
Yeah, it's gotten out of control.
Yeah.
There's a fantastic TikToker who is really, really good at voice impersonations of female singers. So she's basically impersonating a whole bunch of different celebrity singers when they stub their toe. So she starts, I believe, with Christina Aguilera. Or Ariana.
Bible, this is literally the second time. So rude. How dare you?
The thing on the side of the head. I love that. That's so great.
Oh my God!
That's so great. The Mariah Carey one's my favorite with the thing.
Casper is back in great form.
You think you own whatever.
Oh my God. He's so cute.
Also, this chick, this is amazing. She recreates songs with baby toys, and it is masterful.
Listen.
Oh my gosh.
Representing all the babies all across the world, still sipping and dripping, all them boys and girls still whacking with the little hands and feet, but still got like a mommy. That's my cute baby. All the babies all across the world still ain't a blow up that gon' make you hurt. Still see you running up and down the street.
That's fantastic.
Daddy, that's my cute baby. Dance.
That is awesome. Seriously, that's some talent right there.
Right? It's good stuff. Anyway, those are your talks for today.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm kind of distracted at the last minute. We have flooring people coming and we got a late start. So I think they may actually.
That's right.
The cows were right there and now they're gone. And they're probably like mauling the flooring people.
Sorry for the late start and for
yes,
all the
we're so sorry, you guys. So sorry. I don't think Cash is going to get up and I have to skedaddle because I think I have to go answer my door.
Okay.
Because I have flooring people.
You can still bring
today.
it in.
Of course I'm going to bring it in. Without question, I'm going to bring it in.
And things will be normal tomorrow. Things will be a lot more normal.
As normal as we can be. You know, as normal as Yes, you guys, it's Tuesday. Have the most fantastic Tuesday of your life, and we will talk to you tomorrow morning.